Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're having a great weekend. Tons of good basketball. St. Patrick's Day yesterday, charts, so a lot of good stuff. So I hope you're enjoying. During my chart review this weekend, I looked through hundreds, if not, more like thousands of charts, and I saw a lot of really bullish looking charts developing. So I don't want to get too excited. Things can change quick in the markets, and I look at a lot of the indexes, and I'm just have kind of a neutral position, but I've seen a lot of bullish setups. So I wanted to share some of those with you today. First one here is ACLS. This is a semiconductor name. Semiconductors are a group that I definitely have a close watch on. A lot of the charts are shaping up well. This one here broke a downtrend from late last year. Last week, it's right above this 200-day and 50-day. If you follow shorter term moving averages like the 20 and 10 or 8, they're all converging right about here. So price has kind of been consolidating here for the last week. I think we're going to get a pop up. I could be wrong, but that's the best part about identifying areas near key price points that you know when you're wrong. So it depends where you want to set your stop. I could see one here, 26. I usually give them a little bit more room, probably 25, 25.50 in this area. But this is one that I have my eye on. I actually went long this one on Friday. Um, so I'll definitely have my eye on it, but I'm looking for a nice pop up out of this one. And if not, we know where to get out. Another semiconductor name, NXPI, had this area uh, January, February, resistance here around 120, 150. Then had this big gap up. Now it's come back down to test that resistance area. Tried to break below it, but it's been closing above it. You can see these candles here. So interestingly enough, too, this area from those February lows to that big gap up is also the 38.2% retrace. So we have a couple areas of potential support here at 121, 121.50. So if you go long against that area, you might expect a run up to those old highs, if not better. But you definitely have that defined risk that you look for here. So one to keep your eye on. A couple more I'll go through really quick, just because they're in the same industry here. Semiconductors and NVMI, looking for a break above this $28, $29 level. I think we can get a nice rise there. ON, this thing is just a beast, long-term uptrend, kind of like ACLS, the one I entered Friday. This has like really nice growth numbers, low PE, not uncommon for a lot of these semiconductors. But this one might find support here, 25.50. If not, maybe it takes a dip down here, 24.50 or such. But when it starts turning back up and you have an area to trade against, this would be a good one to get involved in my opinion. It's a really strong, healthy looking uptrend. Last semiconductor here, MPWR. There's two ways you can go about this one. We have this area here is pulling off. I could see trading against this, 123 area here. It started to bounce, or if you wanted to wait for the bigger break around 127, that could also be an area to kind of trade against if you want to play the breakout there. Here's one I hit on last week, WLK, really strong fundamentals, a specialty chemical company. I do own this one, and it's back a little bit below where I bought it. But, this area around 115 here is kind of retesting here, just a really shallow dip. So if it starts bouncing here off this 115 area, I'm looking for this one to go quite a bit higher. So I like this one quite a bit still. I've seen a lot of energy names like this, just kind of consolidating and coiling. This one's coming here in this wedge. This is APC. This one's in a strong uptrend, so odds would suggest a breakout to the upside, but you never know. But this is kind of in general for a lot of these energy names. They're definitely on my watch list. I don't know if I have any positions in energy names right now. I'm kind of just waiting to see how all this unfolds. But here's one in particular I'm watching. Like I said, the most likely scenario is it breaks up. If it hits above this like 60-50 area, this is one I consider going long. And I mentioned I'm kind of neutral on the indexes. A lot of people have pointed out the kind of wedge here. The Dow's definitely been one of the weaker indexes here, and they're kind of just consolidating and wedging. So this is DXD. This is the ultra short Dow, but this is one if the markets don't start off good next week and they start breaking down, this is one I'd like to get long here. 850, 860. If it breaks out of this wedge, I think we can get a move up, to around the $10 area, which is a decent 19-20% move. So if things don't work out, you gotta have a game plan for that too. So this is one I'm watching for that. Hillenbrand HI, big breakout of a flat base here, $45, $46. Big volume on Friday. It looks like it held. Didn't really start bouncing off it, but if it's above this area, and this is also the 38.2% retrace from, your low here to your high here, that's around 38.2. So if it starts moving up against this area, really good area to trade against, have your defined risk. So looking for this one to move up. Nu Skin, this area here, $75, we'll call it 74, 75 was resistance. Little shallow dip, huge volume on Friday. So if this one could move up, 74.50, 75, this could be a nice area to trade against for a long. So definitely one to keep on your radar. GNTX, it's kind of coiling here in this wedge. If we get a break here, above 23.75, would definitely consider entering this one as a long. Like it quite a bit. Nice defined long-term uptrend here. Love this one. AME. This is the area here around $78. It's been resistance a couple times. Resistance. It's just really been consolidating right at that level. Sometimes that's a good indicator. I've noticed if it consolidates right at a resistance level, it's getting set up for a powerful move. So this is one that's really high on my watch list. I try to prioritize my potential buy watch list during the weekend, and this one is up there. Really like the looks of it. YRD, this is a downtrend from last fall. Looks like it might want to break it. Just took a shallow dip there. So demand might be coming in. If it can get above, well, I'd like to see it get above this 44 level for me to get interested. But another one on my watch list. QD. This is one, had a huge move here, came back, but this is a big area here. This 14, we'll call it 1450. It's actually a range probably between 14 and 1475, but it's been really important. It's been resistance a bunch of times. So many shares traded in this area. And then Thursday went below it, closed above it. Friday got a nice bounce. So I'm looking for this one maybe to retest those old highs there. That's 16, 17% up, if not better. And again, if it doesn't, if it goes against you, it gets under that yellow box, that's when you get out. So like the looks of that one. Same idea here. Wave Life Sciences. We have this area around $40. Was resistance for a long time. Consolidation zone here acted as resistance. Busted up, went up 30%, came back down. So looking for a bounce here. So those are just a few that caught my eye. Hope you found this helpful. If you like the setups that I look for, myself and CJ Arguesta at Trust the Process Trading have a service, $69 a month, and you get access to both of us where we give out live trade alerts, of course, and then sector reviews, focus watch list, things like that. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. And I hope you all have a great weekend and take care. Thank you.